member states, one country, one vote. Not so good if you're a superpower. The U.S. has got the relative voting strength of Andorra, so they're not too thrilled with the General Assembly. But the General Assembly is nonetheless the body that oversees every penny that we spend. Again, trying to imagine that the UN is some, it's just down in the beautiful Rogue Valley. I love the word rogue. That the UN is some rogue entity out there doing whatever it feels like doing. Again, not so much. Our member states oversee every penny that they give us through the budget processes of the General Assembly. So the UN is all of those things. The UN is the system of funds and programs and specialized agencies, UNICEF, the World Food Program that provides food to 80 million people a year that otherwise wouldn't have enough food to eat when they go to bed at night. The UN High Commissioner for Refugees, which provides housing to 25 million displaced people uprooted either through conflict or natural disaster. The United Nations is also an alphabet soup of specialized agencies. And here's where, again, my friends from Portland State can take a quick nap. But I'm going to try to get the point across through something called the airplane story. Imagine that you're getting on an airplane at Portland International Airport and going to some overseas destination, say Charles de Gaulle Airport outside of France. What guarantee do you have that your pilot can speak the same language to the control tower here in Portland and the control tower outside of Paris? And that your runway is thick enough so your plane doesn't crack through it when it lands, and long enough so you don't end up in a French cow field? It's the work of the United Nations, the International Civil Aviation Organization, headquartered in Montreal, that is tasked with coordinating international civilian air travel. If you enjoy an in-flight movie, it's intellectual property rights regarded by WIPO, the UN's World Intellectual Property Organization. If your flight is relatively turbulence-free, you can thank the UN's World Meteorological Organization that helps our member states develop their national weather services that share information with control towers. If you enjoy an in-flight meal, or it doesn't at least make you ill, you can thank the work of the UN's Food and Agricultural Organization that helps our developing member states strengthen their agricultural capacity. If your flight attendants are relatively happy, you can thank the ILO, the UN's International Labor Organization that puts forward standards for trade and labor agreements. You're wondering how long I can keep this up. All right, let's go for maybe two more. So you land in Paris and you want to go see a big tourist destination, and if it's a major one, it's probably been designated a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, the UN's education, scientific, and cultural organization that helps our member states preserve humankind's common heritage through their landmarks and national treasures. And ultimately, you want to share your thoughts with your friends and loved ones back here at home. So you buy a postcard, you write your thoughts down, you stick it in a French mailbox. How in the world does it get across oceans and national boundaries without the work of the UN's Universal Postal Union that helps member states coordinate their national postal networks? All right, so I told this story once to a model UN group, and my daughter was in the audience.